Good morning everybody, and welcome to Kepier Woods in Durham and to another of our Wednesday walk videos. As you know, I pre-record these slightly early. It's actually 8 AM on Tuesday morning today, and today's walk is going to take us along the river to the north of Durham through this lovely deciduous woodland. There are also quite a lot of fairly interesting geological formations in this woodland, which we might talk about if we get the time, or if people want to know more, I could do a separate video about that later on. But for today's walk, we're just going to head along to this footpath, down to the river, and then along it for about 15 minutes or so. As you also probably can hear, this wood is full of birdsong at this time of the morning. So I hope you can find that video enjoyable and relaxing. And as you can see down there, you can possibly catch a first glimpse of the quiet and still River Wear, which we'll be following for today's walk. This is the river valley to the north of Durham, so much further on after it's passed through the city from where we finished last week, and on its way to Chestler Street. So we'll just head through this woodland here and hope this will be an enjoyable walk for you all. We've got wild garlic again. There's masses of it in this area. Kepier Woods has quite an interesting history because it's actually been a source for quite a lot of natural resources. There's been rock quarrying and rock extraction. You might be able to see a little old quarry face up there, and also there's been coal extraction down in this area. So it has been, in the past, not anymore, mined and quarried with, getting the products for the building really of Durham City itself. Now if we come back here, which I think we will because there's quite a lot of walks, we might head down this footpath to the old rifle ranges. But today we're going to enjoy the bird song and head over this bridge and follow the river to the north. Looks like the little stream and the waterfall have dried up, but there will be a little waterfall there in winter. It hasn't rained much here, so that's probably why it's quite dry. Also probably why the river is quite shallow and calm, but we'll see more of that as we head on. Got a fallen tree there that's been reclaimed by moss and ivy. Now, if you can hear traffic, that's because way at the top of this we have the A690 bypass along the old railway line, and we also have the motorway, the A1M, over in front of us somewhere. But you won't see any traffic because we are significantly lower than both the motorway and the road at this point. What you can hear though is the bubbling of a stream and a waterfall, because this waterfall, unlike the previous one which was dry, does actually still have water in it, and it's falling down there at quite a rate. I'm coming down over my path, heading into the river. So I will just jump over this little water course. Yes folks, stepping stones. And then we've got this smaller waterfall just here. Make sure I don't fall whilst holding the camera, because that wouldn't be good. We've done that before. I think that is our last watercourse for today. And once again up here we've got another section of rock which has been exposed, probably by quarrying. This is a very steep sided valley, but I think the valley has actually been artificially steepened by man's actions. But now you can start to see through the trees that we're getting down to the water level, and you can see the reflection of the trees in a very still River Weir. Now, for those of you who are interested in trees, you might want to head over to the Gilesgate Coronavirus Updates group, where one of our residents, Mrs. Hope, has essentially turned one of our local parks into a little arboretum, and she's putting posts up every week to tell people about the different trees and plants that can be found just growing in that park. So if you're interested in trees and that kind of thing, that might be a little place to go and look. Again, that's really for residents of Durham, but I suspect everybody's more than welcome to have a quick read at those posts. As you see, we've definitely got man-made structures here. I'm not actually sure what this was. It may have been an old hut or something. There are people who are more expert on things that are in this woodland than I am, who use it regularly. I will ask them what these are, but you can see there's man-made features here, and once again you've got a very exposed rock face that does not look natural up there. So we are getting to the level of the river now. So if we, and again this has definitely been cut to shape before. So here is the River Weir. It's very still and calm this morning, and the rest of our walk will just follow the riverbank, follow the riverbank along and see what we can see. Now, I don't know how far we'll get along here, but I did mention that the A690 bypass, which is up to my right behind the trees, was along the route of an old railway line, and that's the railway line from Durham Gilesgate station to Belmont Junction station, neither of which exist anymore, but was Durham's third station after Durham Elvet and the County Durham mainline station. And it was built there because the Leamside line, which was the main route into Newcastle before the viaduct and the line through Chester Street was built, was over in this part of Durham. We just got a little wren. Don't know if you can see him right in the middle of a camera shot. I think he's skittered off. But so, as I was saying, the Leamside line was the old route to Newcastle that ran up through Washington and towards Peelaw. That's Peelaw on Tyne, not Peelaw over where we were walking last week. And that ran to the west of Durham. When the viaduct, at the east of Durham rather, and when the viaduct was built, there was a a line linking Durham Station to the Leamside line through Belmont and over Belmont Viaduct, and if we keep walking along here we will eventually get to the remains of that viaduct. As you can see, we've got a little bit more tooled stone down there, so I'll try and find out what all these little things down the riverbank are and maybe let you know in a future episode. Here's another rocky escarpment down the side of the river. I think this would be a fantastic place to do a geology field trip. It's got a lot of sedimentary rock visible in this area. I was hoping we might see a few more water birds, but they don't look to be up this morning yet. But there's a whole range of wildlife that has been seen here, from ducks. Oh, hello. Yes, I mentioned water birds. Here they are. Mallard duck. I just heard a quack and they all appeared. But yeah, a little colony of mallard ducks just in the middle of the river on the shallow area there. Morning. Apologies for cutting the video there. We were joined by a couple of mountain bikers. But we're hopefully back up and running and heading on the footpath. Sorry about that little cut. Once again we had people using this footpath. That person looked to be on quite a long distance walk. They had their morning coffee with them. I'm not sure how far along here you can get, but I don't think it's all the way to Chester Street, so it probably wouldn't do for your morning commute, but you can get quite a good distance. So, as I say, we are just walking down the riverbank here. Now, we have been going for maybe 12 or 13 minutes now, and I'd actually like to finish by getting to the viaduct. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to do this as a little two-part video. So we've got this log here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stop on this log and say goodbye to you all for now. This is going to be the end of part one, as it were, of today's Walking with Richard, and sometime before next Tuesday, I'm not entirely sure when, I will release part two. So if you do want to be informed when part 2 is released, please do click the subscribe button at the bottom and give the bell some ears so you'll get email alerts of when the videos are released. And as you can hear the birds singing in the background, we will leave you here and I'll join you again for part 2 in a short while. Thank you very much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you on Friday for the studio episode, and for, whenever it's released, part 2 of this walk with Richard.